Guys, so someone asked me to talk about just my overall experience with the McLean Clinic for top surgery, and so I figured I'd do that. So first of all, the booking of the appointment, I did try at first to go through the online thing where you like send an email or whatever, and they're supposed to email you back. They never emailed me back, so I just called them up and said like, hey, can I book a consultation? And they said sure, and it was a couple weeks later that I had the appointment, so it was pretty quick getting in there um, for your consultation. It's a free consultation, which is fantastic. Um, it's really nice to have that because then you're able to go there without worrying and you find out everything you need to know. You get to meet the surgeon, Dr. McLean. You get to meet with the financial person, and like you just get to get the feel of the clinic without worrying about like, am I putting a down payment on down today kind of thing? Do I have to pay for this? It's a free consultation, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Um, so yeah, my first impressions. If you watch my very first video talking about that very first consultation, I was a bit uncomfortable in the waiting room. Not so much uncomfortable as I was laughing at my own situation of like I'm in a room full of women who are coming in to get cosmetic surgery, and um, and I look like I'm 13 years old, and I was with my dad who was in cargo shorts and a fishing hat, and all of these women are dressed to the nines, and it's like it just felt like we were so out of place. Um, but it was more comical than like uncomfortable, I guess. Um, and that was pretty much the same every time I went in there. Every time I went though, I did see another trans person, so that was nice. It wasn't usually like waiting in the waiting room with them. It was like I would see them coming out of their appointment and leaving the clinic. But every time I went, there was another trans person there that I briefly saw for moments, and that always like kind of gives you like a breath of fresh air. Like okay, I can breathe again. I'm not the only one here. Um, Dr. McLean deals with so many trans men and so many people who want top surgery. It's his most performed surgery, um, and yeah, so they're very trans friendly. They know what they're doing. They're not, you know, uneducated. A few times when the waiting room was super full, they would put me, like if there wasn't a room ready for me yet, they would put me like in a separate area just so that I wasn't, being gawked at by all of these women who are like, what is this kid doing here? Um, and yeah, I brought my sister to one appointment, like the one where I got the sponges off of my nipples after surgery. I brought my sister to that one, um, and she's like she is 14. She was 14, and they were super nice to her and just like super happy that I brought her with me to see what was going on, and just super friendly staff. My only criticism, and this is not something that's going to happen to everybody. It was a mistake on their part, whatever. Was that the day after surgery? So I was 1 day post-op. You have to go back, um, and I had, just driven all the way back to Mississauga. I was in a lot of discomfort, not so much pain as I was just really uncomfortable and itchy, and I felt really gross, and I wanted to just get the post-op binder off for a few minutes. I just wanted to breathe. Um, so by the time I got to the clinic, I was not in a good mood. And so I go up to the thing, and I was on time for my appointment, and one of the ladies behind the counter, who I'd never seen before and I never saw after, said, "Oh yeah, just take a seat." I don't think she realized that I had had surgery the day before or something, because maybe she didn't read the screen or something, because she shouldn't have told me to sit down. Everybody else I've seen who came in 1 day post-op goes straight to a room, and for some reason she told me to sit down in the waiting room. And so we're waiting and waiting, and my mom and I are not people who are going to go like start something. Like I'm not one to complain about a service kind of thing. Um, I was just waiting patiently. for someone to tell me to go to a room, and they completely forgot about me. Um, so I was sitting one day post-op in this waiting room, waiting for my appointment for 45, 50 minutes past my appointment time. And somebody was, one of the other ladies who I see every time I go in there, um, she was talking to another trans guy who just came out of his appointment. He was like a week post-op or 10 days post-op or something. Um, she was talking to him, and she happened to see me out of the corner of her eye sitting in the waiting room, and she just said like, hold on a second, and she comes over to me, and she kind of like pulled my shirt out a little bit to look down it to see, because she could tell I was sitting very stiff. I was very uncomfortable, and she kind of like looked, and she saw the post-op, all the bandages and stuff, and went, "Oh my god!" And then she's like, come with me," and she took me to a room, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like what I. She had no idea I was waiting there because whoever the lady who told me to sit down clearly forgot about me and didn't tell anybody that I had showed up. So yeah, they just completely forgot about me, and that really pissed me off on that day because I was like, I am in pain and a lot of discomfort. I just want to go home and rest, and I'm sitting here for almost an hour, um, and you just forgot about me. um, but yeah, like I said, I didn't see that happening to anybody else, and I think it was honestly just maybe it was very busy that day or something, and whoever told me to sit down just wasn't having a good day or whatever, wasn't on top of their game. But that was literally my only criticism about the clinic was that one mistake. Um, but it was the lady who I see every time I went in there, who brought me to the room. She made sure I was okay. She got me water. She got me all this stuff, and she's like, "I'm so sorry," and it wasn't a big deal after that. But I was really uncomfortable and miserable during that hour. Um, yeah, but overall, the staff is phenomenal. They're all fantastic. The anesthesia, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, great. Um, and the nurse, I don't remember her name, but I've seen her a few times. I don't know how many nurses they have there, but this girl I see all the time, and she was my nurse as well. Very, very sweet, really friendly, really adorable, and just like she just made me smile, even though I'm like going into surgery in like 20 minutes. Um, we were talking, and just very friendly people. Yeah, and I mean, Dr. McLean does really good work. He's not a very talkative fellow. I didn't really have a lot of questions or anything, but he was very to the point and not like, he's a surgeon. He's a busy guy. He doesn't want to spend, doesn't want to chit chat forever, right? Um, so, he's very to the point, and if you don't ask him questions, then he's going to shake your hand and he's going to leave the room. Um, yeah, the woman who does all the post-op appointments, and she also takes all the pictures that you see on the website and stuff. Can't remember her name either, but she's super friendly and awesome as well. So honestly, McLean Clinic, fabulous experience. It's not a hospital. The surgery takes place right in the clinic, and you go home that day. It's literally a 6-hour day or something. You get there, you have, I think, hour to 2 hours pre-op stuff, and then surgery is about 2 hours, and then you're in the recovery for 1 to 2 hours depending on how you're doing, and then they wheel you down in a wheelchair to the parking lot. You get in your car and you go. Or if you have to stay in the hotel um, next door, then because you live out of town, then that's where you're staying. Um, yeah, so it's not a hospital or anything, which is awesome as well because then it's more private. They have the one operating room and the one post-op area, and it's really good. Um, yeah, it does feel a little rushed on the day though, just because they schedule so many surgeries. Um, and sorry, I'm just checking the time. We're like 9 minutes here. Um, they schedule a lot of surgeries on that day, so I was the second guy to have top surgery the day that I had surgery. There was a guy before me, there was me, and then a guy right after me, and there was also there was a lady having something done as well after that guy. So they schedule a lot of surgeries in one day. So it was literally like The dude was having surgery while I was in the pre-op room, and then while he was in the post-op area, I walked past him to get to the surgery, to the operating room, and then I was behind the curtain in the post-op area when the next guy walked through, because while I was waking up from the anesthesia, I could hear him talking, and he walked right past me, um, and he was going to lay down on the operating table. Um, so it's really back to back to back, and you get in, you get out, which to me was good because I wanted to go home, but and I didn't want this to take any longer than it had to. But to some people who might want like a super cushy, you know, like I want to just relax and take my time and sit in a hospital bed for a few days to recover. Like this, that's not what you're getting with this. It's a private clinic, um, but honestly, I prefer that fast-paced kind of, um, you know. Again, and also I recovered like super quickly. I was fine fairly quickly, so I could go home right away. I was able to go to the bathroom right off the bat, like everything was fine. Um, and yeah, so if you're, deciding between the McLean Clinic and somewhere else, then I would absolutely highly recommend McLean Clinic. They're fantastic there, and the results, I mean, they speak for themselves. They're fantastic. Uh, so yeah, thank you for asking me to talk about this. If anybody has any other specific questions that I didn't cover, then let me know, and I will absolutely talk about them or answer you uh, through the comments or whatever if it's just a short question. But thank you for watching. My appointment is in like 2 or 3 days. My pre-op for my hysterectomy is in a couple days, so I will update on that appointment as well. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, subscribe, comment, questions, video topics, anything like that, leave them down below, message me. Thanks for watching. See ya.